by giving a heartfelt thank you to all our top sponsors, Scott Davis and the team at Capital Wealth Strategies, Dr. Gordon Marshall and the team at Greater Austin Orthopedics, John McCullen and the team at Supreme Lending, Rich Egan and the team at EPEH Law Firm, and Haley Rugg and the team at Piazza Center. Thank you all for coming out and supporting this worthy cause today. SJ Syndrome of Texas is leading the way the world becomes aware, understands, treats, and defeats Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Stevens-Johnson syndrome, or SJS, is a rare but deadly autoimmune disorder for which there are very few medical treatments. Triggered by a reaction to common medications, SJS victims suffer from burn-like symptoms all over their bodies, inside and out, and experience long-term complications, including vision loss or blindness, lung damage, weakened immune systems, and infertility. Sadly, children and adults die every year from SJS. At age 16, I had Stevens-Johnson syndrome. I had started on a new medication and 3 weeks later began to have flu-like symptoms, itchy eyes, and a sore throat. I went to my pediatrician and told them we thought maybe it was a reaction to the medicine. And like many SJS survivors, I was misdiagnosed. 3 days later, I was in a burn unit with second and third degree burns from head to toe. My parents were told the chances of me surviving were slim, and if I did live, I'd most likely be left blind. I remember every single minute of my time in the hospital because all I was given was 4 morphine once a day. That is like having a couple of glasses of wine before someone took a Brillo pad to scrape at the wounds on your body. You had a gown and glove to come see me in the burn unit. It hurt too bad to be touched, so no one could hold me, rub my arm, or give me a kiss. The tears burned too bad in my eyes and on my face, so I laid there, scared, knowing I could die, but couldn't cry. I have always felt a huge responsibility to give back because I was a survivor and not left blind. I became a nurse because of the great care I had in the burn unit. Eventually went on to graduate school to become a nurse anesthetist. A few years ago, I began visiting patients in the burn unit who had been left with SJS. And even though I was not left blind, I have a lot of scarring in my eyes. So when I work out, if sweat drips in my eyes, I'm literally left blinded on the trail. At age 40, when I was training for my first marathon, I reinvented the sweatband. It's called Handana. It's been on the market now for over 5 years, and I've used that platform to raise awareness about Stevens-Johnson syndrome. I've been on national TV telling my story and has been in many publications. In 2016, I was invited to take part in a show called Future Show. It's a competition similar to Shark Tank that Under Armour puts on. Well, Handana won that competition, and we took that prize money and we donated it to doctors at Harvard that are doing research with Stevens-Johnson syndrome. There is a lack of federal support, and companies choose against researching medicines for rare diseases because there isn't much profit to be made. I've met with the teams at Boston, at Harvard, and at Vanderbilt, and learned of research being conducted around the world. The funds that we raise will go towards defining biomarkers that would lead to earlier diagnosis and treatments, set up protocols, and continue to raise awareness. Learning of the research being done is life-changing, not only for me, but for all those affected by SJS. The public needs to understand how big a problem this is. All those left with severely diminished health issues cannot find proper care because doctors aren't familiar with SJS and do not have treatments or protocols in place. At age 16, when I took that medicine that caused my SJS, I felt alone, unworthy, and that no one cared. Today, I am a voice for all those with SJS who feel alone, unworthy, and that no one cares. And today, because of all of you, these survivors and their family finally feel that they are not alone, they are worthy, and that someone does care. The importance of knowing someone cares was taught to me while I was in the burn unit. In closing, I'd like to tell you a short story about a man named Kerry Wilson. Kerry was a fireman in the burn unit at the same time I was. He had to jump from a burning building because he had caught fire. And every day, Kerry would stumble past my room to go for his dressing changes. And every day, Kerry would stop and say, "How you doing, Katie?" Well, I was wrapped like a mummy. I couldn't move, I couldn't see, I couldn't talk. And every day, I'd give him thumbs down. Well, Kerry and I stayed in touch. We both survived and got out of the burn unit. He came to my dance recital later that year. He came to my high school graduation, my college graduation, and even attended my wedding. But Carrie and I lost touch when I left St. Louis over 15 years ago. I tried numerous times to find him and was unable, but the Steve Harvey Show found him. They brought him on the show. He thought he was going to talk about his days as a fireman, and I was able to surprise him and thank him, the difference one person made, a complete stranger in the midst of his own turmoil, and what that communicated to me. One person really can make a difference. And today, that one person is you. Thank you. Have a great day.
So before we get going here, I want to have everybody give her a round of applause. This is the first inaugural event, and she's done an amazing job with this event. Katie, very nice job. So before we get going here, just a quick